Hi there everybody. Today we're going to be doing a single player survive through your first day and night tutorial. I'll be showing you the tips and tricks to make it through the first night without having any issues. Hopefully we won't run into any problems while we go through this. I'll be showing you, in my opinion, the best things you can do for your first day and your first night and how to make it through them and be prepared for your second day and every day following after. Right in here we're going to make our title. This will be the save for it, so when you want to find it later, that'll be the name of it. This is the general world creation screen. You have survival down here. If you click on, you'll have hardcore, and you'll also have creative. Survival and hardcore are virtually the same. It's a survival where you can gather resources, crafting. You can gain levels. You have to deal with health and hunger issues and whatnot. The only difference between survival and hardcore is that hardcore is locked on the hardest difficulty setting, and if you die once, it's game over. Creative is great because you have unlimited resources. You can fly around. It's great for building giant builds or testing any redstone creations before you build them in your survival world. We're going to stick on survival because that's what I'm going to show you today. Then from there we'll go down to our more world options button just below this, and in here you'll have several different buttons. You'll have your generate structures, world type, and whatnot. Generate structures is great because it's what does your villages, your dungeons, your strongholds, and your nether fortresses, so you're going to want to leave that on. It's pretty essential to the gameplay. Without it, it's kind of hard to go through the full adventure of Minecraft, so we'll leave that on. To the right of that we have world type. It's on default naturally. You have super flat, large biomes, and amplified. You want to leave it on default. We don't want to change any of that. And then below that you have bonus chests and cheats. You want to leave those off. So we have our typical Minecraft adventure feel. We don't change it at all. We'll go ahead and hit done because we're done in here. You can hit create new world, or we can go back and look at the seed for your world generator. If you leave that empty, it gives you a random seed. If you change it and put in a number or a name, it'll always be the same if you use the same number and name. But we'll leave it blank because we want to leave it random. Your loading world and a building terrain screen will take longer on some computers to be faster on others. Basically, it's creating the entire Minecraft world for the most part around you. It's going to put you in a random location for your starting spawn point, and your location will be in a specific type of biome. It'll be different every time you start. There's all kinds of biomes: deserts, mesas, forests, polar regions, extreme hill regions. Basically, the best one we want to hope for is a forest region. Anything that's got trees near you is good because wood is your most important resource. So when you start your map, you want to look around and see. We happen to start here in a forested area, which is great because, like I did say, wood is the most important, and then food. After that, building a shelter isn't a big deal. It's pretty easy to do. So kind of take a look around your surroundings, see what you got. Looks like we're on the edge of an ocean with forest behind us, which is a good starting biome. It's great. So I usually start my map out by walking around a little bit, taking in the sights and exploring. Over here we have a extreme hill biome, so we want to stay away from that for a while, but that'll be good later on. I continue to explore around looking for whatever may be beneficial for us in our starting day, our first day and our first night. So I usually like to get up as high as I can without doing too much work and looking around to see what is in the surrounding vicinity. Over here we've got, it looks like a little cave. We don't want to explore that. We want to ignore that for now. We'll go into that when we have better gear. For now I'm just going to wander around, look for if there's any food nearby. In this case we have some cows. Cows are great. They drop steak and leather, and you can cook it for food that you can eat. You could also look for sheep, pigs, rabbits, chickens. Those are all passive mobs that will drop food for you to be able to keep your hunger bar from depleting. Now that I've looked around a little bit, I see we've got some food nearby and we've got trees. We'll go ahead and cut down some wood for our starting tools. And wood's used for just about everything in Minecraft. A few things you don't use wood for, you use wood to create the tools to get those items. So wood is really important. After I've explored, I usually cut down just one tree. I just destroy all the logs that are in that one tree. And once you do that, the surrounding foliage around it will start to decay, and it will drop saplings, and sometimes it'll drop apples, which is good. Apples is another source of food. Saplings you can use to replant your trees. So once you have a few, you can create a virtual tree farm and have an infinite supply of wood if you need it. After I've gotten a few logs collected, I'll go ahead and go into my inventory. We'll turn our logs into wood planks. If you shift click, it'll give you all the available that you can make, which is great for some things. Be careful not to do it at other times, because sometimes you'll shift click and you won't need 13 crafting tables, you only need one. So we'll go ahead and make just one crafting table at the moment, collect the rest of our wood planks and set them off to the side for later. You go ahead and select your crafting table by scrolling with your mouse wheel or using the 1 through 9 on your hotbar. Right click to place it, and then put your wood planks in here to create sticks like this. Go ahead and gather a few sticks. I think 12 is enough for now. And then take your wood planks and your sticks and set them in a handle shape like this. And then if you put a T across the top, you will get a pickaxe. All these recipes that I'll be showing you, you can exchange wood for stone, iron, gold, and diamond. They get stronger and faster as you move up, with the exception of gold. Gold is faster, but not any stronger. It depletes through its durability a lot quicker. So it's not a tool that I typically use. I typically just use wood, stone, iron, and diamond. Diamond is pretty rare, so it's a good one to get. It's also the strongest. After you've created a full set of tools, it's good to go collect some food. Use your sword to kill any hostile or passive mobs. Cows, like I said, will drop cooked meat and leather, but they don't always drop leather. Sometimes, as you will see, they will only drop meat, which is not a big deal because leather is used for a few items, but nothing that you need right away. Your main goal is just collecting food. So we'll go ahead and kill a couple of cows to get enough meat to get us through the first day and first night. And as you can see, it only takes a few seconds to a few minutes to collect enough meat to make it through the first day and night and get you on your head start for the following days after. Now that we have quite a few uncooked meat and some leather here, we're going to go ahead and go back over here, and I'm going to show you guys what you need to do to cook your meat. In order to cook your meat, you need to get a furnace. In order to make a furnace, you need to gather some stone. So you can gather stone one of two ways. You can wander around and look for any exposed stone, or you can take your shovel and dig through the first couple layers of dirt. After that, you will discover stone, which you can see there, which is the gray block. Or you can go over to an area like this, where there's exposed stone, which is much better because it doesn't require you to deplete any of your hunger bar by doing extra tasks. You just want the stone here. The stone-like block off to the left, the red one, is granite. You can collect that, but you cannot build tools with it. It's just used for a building block in your structures. So I typically don't gather it. I don't even go after it at all. If it's in the way, I mine it. Otherwise, I don't worry about it too much. But some people like the looks of it. Once you have a few stone gathered up, I'm going to go ahead and get, I think, 15. That should be enough to get you started on what you need to make. And that will be your furnace and your first couple stone tools. Before we go make our furnace, let's go ahead and gather some coal here. If you have any exposed coal, go ahead and dig it up immediately, because coal is extremely important. It's what you use to cook your food, smelt your ores, and create torches, which is what you use to create light to keep hostile mobs from spawning nearby. So gather a couple coal. If we're not so lucky to have found coal right away, you can make charcoal with wood, and I will show you how to do that also. So I'll go ahead and cut down a few more logs, because you need logs and wood planks to create charcoal. Well, you need logs to create charcoal. You need some way of cooking the logs, which usually you can do with wood planks or any other wood tool or anything else made out of wood, as well as coal. But you don't want to use coal to make charcoal. There's not really a point to that. So we'll go in here. I'll show you how to make a furnace first. A furnace is just a circle with your stone blocks or cobblestone blocks. And then after that, we will take our furnace. We're going to set it here on the ground. And this is how you are going to make charcoal. You're going to take your wood, you're going to place it up here, your wood planks, put it down here, and then it'll turn the wood into charcoal. It'll burn up the wood planks, and this is how much fuel source you have left, and then you have your loading bar to the right of that, and every time that fire reaches the bottom, it'll eat up another one of your wood planks and use it to create more of whatever you are cooking. You can take them out, put them in as you need. I'm just going to go leave it in there, let it burn it all up, and we'll create some tools while we're waiting. This is how you create your torches. You can do it in your inventory or in your crafting table. We'll go ahead and do it in the crafting table so we have more room. 1 stick and 1 charcoal make 4 torches. You can't stack charcoal and coal, but you can stack the torches that you make from each. So go ahead and make a few torches. You don't need a whole lot to start out with. Save the rest of the coal to be able to cook our meat. Now we have a few extra charcoal here. Like I said, you can't stack it, as you can see, but you can use them both to cook things. So I'll use my charcoal here, and I'll then place my raw beef in there, and then when I'm done, I'll get cooked beef, which you can eat to keep your hunger bar full. Once your hunger bar goes down, more than, I believe it's 2 of those meat sticks, you can no longer regenerate health. Once it gets down to 3, you can no longer run, and once it gets below 0, you will start starving. You take a half a heart damage every second until you get down to your last half heart, but you cannot starve to death. And I'll go into that more here in a minute. After you're done getting your food and you've got some stone, it's good to upgrade your tools into your stone tools because they're more efficient, they're stronger, they last longer. So as you can see here, I make a stone pickaxe, stone axe, and stone sword. That's all you'll need. You don't need to keep your wood tools, but it's not a bad idea to hang on to them for a little longer. And like I said, when you're building your stone tools or your wood tools, you can use the same pattern. You just replace the wood or the stone with iron or gold or diamond. And that's how you get all your increasingly stronger tools. And the stronger they are, the more durability they have. And the durability bar is the little green bar you see beneath the tools I have used. Once it gets completely depleted, the tool becomes broken and you must make another one. So you want to keep an eye on that as well. After that, we can go ahead and collect our cooked beef we have here and hold on to that. We won't need it for anything else at the moment. Now that we've got tools, meat, torches, and some basic resources, we can start creating our shelter that we're going to live in throughout the night. You can also create a bed to sleep through the night, but I'm going to show you guys just what to do on how to survive through your first night without sleeping, in case you haven't come across sheep, which when you kill sheep, you get wool, and 3 wood planks and 3 wool is what you need to make a bed. But like I said, I'm going to show you how to do that without sleeping, in case you did not come across sheep. I'm going to gather a few more wood logs so I have enough wood to make it through the night in case I need to change anything or fix anything or make any tools. So after that, go over here to an area that doesn't really matter where. I'm just going to dig into the wall, as you'll see here in a second, and I'm going to create a little like hut for the night, a little in the ground hut to make it through the night. You just want to look for somewhere that's suitable. It doesn't really matter where. You can dig straight into the ground, straight to the side of a mountain like I did here already for my stone, and build your hut there. So I'll go ahead and take my stone tool, since it's going to be faster and stronger, and start opening up the area a little bit. After we get the area opened up enough, you want to make sure that you clear it out. You've got room to move and room to just kind of breathe. I don't like being in a tight, cramped area. There's no reason to, especially when you've got tools. It makes all of the clearing of the area quicker. So once you've got a nice little hole built out there, we're going to go ahead and seal it up, and I'm going to show you how to do that by making doors. Before we make doors, I'm going to show you a great way to save space in your little room and where you can place your furnace and your crafting table to make it more space efficient. So you can take a crafting table and a furnace, you can place them like this. You don't need to have access to all 4 sides to be able to use them. Just be able to click on one spot of them and be able to use it. So as you can see here, I can still use my furnace and my crafting table. Now we're going to go ahead and use our crafting table, and we're going to make a door. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and light up the surrounding areas. Before I forget, before it gets dark outside, I want to light up around me, so that way I'm not wandering outside after dark and risking running into creepers or skeletons or even zombies. So just place some torches randomly around your location to kind of keep the whole area lit up in a general area. You don't need to light it up perfectly. It doesn't have to be super bright. This kind of gives you a buffer zone between you and your hostile mobs. So if they do spawn, they don't spawn right outside your base. That's not to say that once they spawn, they can't come inside the light, but it'll prevent them from spawning right near your base. while I'm out here, I'm just going to go ahead and grab a few more coal to make it through, just in case we don't come across any while we're mining. Might as well take advantage of the daytime. I've already got a little hole dug. It's not much more to lock myself in there by making some doors, so I'll take advantage of the little bit of light I do have left. 10 extra coal is good because I still have some charcoal left over, so that'll work. In here, I'll show you how to make your door now. Create wooden planks. Create your wooden planks in this shape, and when you do that, you get 3 doors. Each wood type will give you a different type of door, a different looking door, but they will still give you 3. Oops. Let's go ahead and delete that. Use an axe since it is a wood product. Once it drops, just pick your door back up and replace it. No harm done. Right click to open your doors and right click to close your doors. Now we've got a nice area where we can block off our hostile mobs from coming in behind us. So we could sit here for the rest of the night and be fine. But there's no point in wasting all that precious time. So we're going to go ahead and create a chest. And I'm going to show you how to store your chests. Chests are great for storing unnecessary things in your inventory, things that are taking up space. You don't want to have a full inventory when you're mining because then you can't collect the resources you've mined. So to place a chest, I'm just going to dig into the hole right here, or dig into the wall right here, I'm sorry. And I'm going to put my chest down. But chests are a little bit different than your crafting tables. You have to have room above the chest to open the lid. As you can see, I can't open it here. So if I mine this block out, I can open it. And then I'm going to go ahead and mine these 2 because one chest gives you this much space. But if you take a second chest, it'll double the amount of storage that you get, as you can see, which is great. Takes up 1 extra block, but you get a whole lot of extra storage space. And then I go ahead and take my unnecessary resources and I get rid of them, unclutter my inventory a little bit, and only keep the things I need. And then I'm going to begin to mine. I'm going to begin passing the time of the night, which will be coming up here shortly. Looks like it's already nighttime. So I'll be passing the night by mining. I'm not going to be wasting my time by just sitting here. But I'll be showing you the best things you can do to pass the night so that way your second day and every following day after you have a head start and you haven't wasted the available time you've been given. When you mine, it's best to mine down to find resources. They become more abundant as you get lower. But when you mine, make sure you leave room for your head as you're walking up and down this. You don't want to be having to remine blocks a second or third time. So just make sure that you go through and you do it as efficiently as possible. When you mine, yet again, keep in mind to use the proper tool for the proper job and keep the area lit up. You want to use you want to use pickaxes for stone, such as stone, cobblestone, granite, diorite, andesite. Any of those you want to use your pickaxes for. Any of the ores you want to use it for. But when it comes to dirt, gravel, and whatnot, you want to make sure you use a shovel. So this is gravel in front of me right here, and you want to use a shovel for that. You don't want to use a pickaxe on it. You don't want to use a shovel on stone, and vice versa. So you want to go ahead and get the proper tool for the proper resource. Gravel is an interesting block. It's one of the few blocks in the game that is affected by gravity, as you can see right here. It will fall if you delete the block underneath it. So make sure you're careful when doing that you don't delete a block of gravel above your head, because it will fall on you and it will suffocate you. After you've gone down a little ways, it's best to clear out some areas. Make sure you keeping it lit up. You don't want it to get dark down here and have a mob spawn behind you, especially when you don't have any armor. We do have a sword, but it's not any high level stuff, so it's just for protection in emergency situations. Continue to mine ahead of you. You can do what's called branch mining, which is where you mine in a straight line directly in front of you for as many blocks as you feel necessary, 5, 10, 100 blocks, and then you stop and you move 2 or 3 blocks to the left or the right, and you repeat the process, which I will show you here in a minute. Just continue to mine until it gets too dark. Place a torch, keep it lit up, and then what you can do is, like I said, you can come back, you can move over to the left or the right 3 or 4 blocks. The best is 3, because then you're seeing the most block faces for the least amount of work, because you don't want to be going through your hunger bar unnecessarily, especially in the beginning when you don't have a farm. So as you can see, I just continue to mine here. I'm going to be looking for iron. That's the main thing you want to find. If you can come across iron in your first day, you are doing great. Iron, coal, and food on your first 2 days, and you're set to a great Minecraft adventure. So continue to mine down, place torches as necessary. I like to usually dig out one block up the side so that our torch isn't in the way and place it. And as you can see here, we have iron. That's what iron ore looks like. Go ahead and mine that out. Mine out whatever available iron you can see. You don't want to leave iron behind and not be taking advantage of it. A lot of times, if you have time also, mine around where you saw it, because sometimes you're not seeing all of the ore. It's just blocked by 1 or 2 blocks of stone. So if you have the time, you want to go ahead and do that. After you get your iron ore, you want to bring it back up to your furnace and put it on the top. That is where you put the things that want to be cooked. And then it'll put the iron ingots over here, which you will use to craft things. While that's cooking, I'm going to show you guys how to create stairs. Stairs are a great thing to use, especially take advantage of them early on, because stairs help you from losing unnecessary hunger. You use up your hunger when you run, jump, mine, do anything. It eats up hunger. But it takes more hunger to run and jump than it does to simply walk. So if you go down and place your stairs, it won't eat up your hunger bar, which that's the bar down below with the meat sticks as you saw me highlight there a second ago. So go ahead and place them so that way when you are done, you can move up and down through your mine quickly without going through extra hunger. That's a very necessary thing to keep in mind, especially for your first few days. You don't want to end your first day being starving and then walk outside to be killed by a skeleton or a zombie. We're going to go ahead and wait for our iron ingots to be done. Once they're done, I'll show you how to make your iron tools. It doesn't take too long. It usually takes a little while, but it's not a long wait typically. Once they're done, I'm going to just create a few iron items. I'm not going to go through it all and create every single iron tool because it's not necessary and we don't have that much iron. While you're waiting, if you're not doing anything, it's a good time to top off your hunger bar. I usually don't eat my food until my hunger bar gets lower. Steak, chicken, and whatnot will raise it up more than 2 of those missing meat sticks. So you usually want to wait longer, but when you have extra food, it's not a bad idea to go ahead and eat it. I've got 6 steaks here. I'm not going to need that. 1 steak will get me through the first night and day. So just top it off and then keep the extras for later. Now that our iron is done, we can go ahead and go in here and open this up by right-clicking on it. Once you get in there, you're going to see that your iron ingots will be on one side, your fuel will be on the bottom, still whatever's left over, and whatever you'd cooked will be gone from the top category. So, as I said, we'll go ahead and we'll open this up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here we have our iron ingots. Just left click to select them, and then this is how you make your iron tools. Like I said, it's the same pattern. I don't need meat. What am I doing? It's the same pattern for all the other tools, as you can see me doing here. I don't need to create every tool available. I simply am going to create a iron sword because that's better defense. It does more damage. You can see here it's 1.6 attack speed and 5 attack damage for the stone sword. Whereas compared to our iron sword, it's same attack speed but 6 attack damage, which is better. The more damage you can get, the better. And then I'm going to go ahead and create an iron pickaxe. I will show you how much faster that is to mine things here in just a minute. So let's go ahead and take our iron pickaxe. Like I said, you can use your mouse scroll wheel or you can use numbers 1 through 9 to select it in your hotbar. And we'll go down here and mine for just a second. I can show you how much quicker... Oh, I always knock my torches off. Way to go. I'll show you how much quicker a iron pickaxe is. So as you can see, it is significantly faster than our stone pickaxe. Which is a good thing, because if you want to gather resources, the faster you can do them, the better. Let's go see how much longer we have from day and night, if it's still night out here or not. And it looks like it's still nighttime, so I'm guessing we don't have much longer. Your day-night cycle is 20 minutes in total. It's 12 minutes a day and 8 minutes of night. So you don't really have a lot of time that you have to pass while down here mining. There I go, knocking off a torch again. But you want to take advantage of every minute that you have when you can't be on the surface. Later on, when you've been geared up properly, you found enough iron and stuff to have armor, it's not a bad thing to explore at night because you can get the drops from the hostile mobs. But for now, We just want to continue using our time as we can. So let's go ahead and clear this section out. Look for any extra iron that may be here. Open it up for later on. We can build down here. It'll give us more room to work. And like I said, anytime you can find resources, that's a good thing. So you want to take advantage of it. I'll just spend my time clearing this out, seeing if I can come across any more iron. And if I don't come across more iron, I'm gathering blocks that I can use to build my awesome survival castle or survival house later on in my adventure. Wherever you start, just remember that you don't have to stay there forever. You can sit here and gather these resources, open this mine up, but you can abandon it. The next day you can decide to go explore. The third or fourth day and you can go explore. You don't have to start, or you don't have to stay where you started. You can move on. A lot of people think you got to stay where you started. It's dangerous to explore. After your first day and night, when you have a few resources, it's not a big deal. Bless me. To explore is not... It's not that big a deal. You get food, you get some resources, you go explore. And you will spawn, if you die, you will spawn back where you started unless you sleep in a bed. That's the benefit of a bed. But now that it's daytime, we can decide if we want to go explore. We can do what we want. Organize our inventory before we step out here because nighttime does spawn hostile mobs. So you never know what you're going to run into, so you want to be prepared. So keep your pickaxe you can mine handy, your sword handy, and then go exploring. But be careful because there may not be any mobs right next to our base, but there will be mobs outside because they burn off in the daylight, but if they're hide in shadows, it doesn't hurt them. So as you can see here, I'm being attacked by, it looks like a skeleton who was in that little cave. Just stay calm. Oh, there's a creeper. Stay calm, get off in the daylight to where things will burn off, and then you're safe. It's not a big deal. As long as you keep your food bar up and you keep food handy, you can regen your health. You usually want to get distance away because, as I said, mobs will burn off in the daylight, such as zombies and skeletons. Creepers and slimes will not, so you got to be careful of them. But the zombies and skeletons can survive underneath the shade of these trees. That is one of the few cons of a forested region. So just keep that in mind. Be aware, and don't freak out. Just stay calm. Get away like I did here. My health is regenerated. As you can see, my health bar is full. My hunger bar is nearly full. If you need to top it off, eat some more food. And then go explore your area. You can feel free to find out what's in your surrounding vicinities. Look for caves and stuff like that. If you go into a cave like this one over here, make sure you bring along a good sword, some food, and make sure you bring torches and a pickaxe so you can gather any resources that you come across while you're exploring. I think that'll about do it for today's video. If you like this video, I don't need to go into more detail. It's just the first day and night. But if you like it, subscribe, comment, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos, let me know what you'd like to see. I'll be doing builds and tutorials in the future. I may even be doing some server games such as Egg Wars or Bed Wars in the future. Again, like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day.